I just want to make enough money to say what I really think. Let me explain. When Adam Smith first laid out the foundations of what would become modern capitalism, the idea was simple: a trade of value. I give something of worth, you give something of worth. Ergo, labor for wages, goods for money, value exchanged for value. Think trade by barter. At its moral core, the promise was that through trade, competition, and the free exchange of labor, prosperity would not remain in the hands of a few, but would expand outward and raise the condition of society as a whole. That this invisible hand, the free market, would touch everybody. In theory, everybody rises. That was the promise. Now compare that with the world we live in. You wake up early every morning, you go to work, you give your time, you give your energy, you give the best hours of your life, you give the best years of your life. And in return, they give you money. Fair enough, that was the premise. But then you use that money to pay rent, buy groceries, maybe enjoy life in small moments when you can, right? That's how it's supposed to work. But here's the kicker. In finance, we call it the time value of money. So a dollar today is worth more than a dollar tomorrow, or a naira today is worth more than a naira tomorrow. Why? Because money today can be invested, can earn returns, because inflation means that same dollar will buy less in the future. Now take that logic a step further. If money is worth more today than tomorrow, then the time you exchange for that money today is also being discounted by the system tomorrow. Let me say that slow at this time. See, every hour you work today is worth less over time. If the money storing that labor, that value, keeps losing purchasing power. Money is supposed to preserve the value of your labor. It is supposed to store the energy you put into this world. In that sense, money is a battery. It should be a battery. It stores your time, your effort, your energy, your life without losing value. But what happens when the battery leaks? What happens when the system is built so that what you earned yesterday buys less today? That, my friends, is the inflationary monetary system we now live under. More money enters circulation because the governments print more. Prices rise, the same salary stretches less, and yet wages rarely move in proportion. So every year, you work harder just to remain in the same place, barely scraping by. Rent rises, food rises, transport rises, but your quality of life does not rise with it. That is why so many people feel exhausted without feeling rewarded. You're always chasing something. See, the system quietly transfers value away from labor. And this is where Adam Smith's original promise begins to break. We start to see the fragment. Because what was meant to be a trade of value has become an extraction of value. Your labor creates wealth, but increasingly, that wealth moves upward. As Pierre Poilievre puts it, we now live in something close to socialism for the rich. The gains move upward, the burden moves downward. Assets appreciate for owners, costs rise for workers. So the pursuit of money slowly becomes a pursuit of mere survival. And this is where it becomes more than economics. It becomes philosophical. See, when the founding fathers of America laid out the ideals of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, they failed to account for a monetary system that can devour all three. Because what is liberty when every decision is dictated by bills? What is life when your best years are sold just to stay afloat? And what becomes of happiness when all your energy is spent chasing money that loses value faster than you can earn it? The pursuit of money begins to impede the pursuit of happiness. Not because money itself is evil, but because the system has turned money from a tool into a condition for dignity. You are no longer working to live, you are living to work. And maybe that is the most genius part of the plot. A system where people are so busy surviving that they no longer have the time, the energy, or the financial freedom to ask deeper questions, to speak freely, to think independently, to live fully, to love purely. That is why I say I just want to make enough money to say what I really think. Because in this world, economic freedom has become the gateway to every other freedom. And I am still one of those dreamers that is in love with the idea of the pursuit of happiness. So just enough to say what I really think. And everything else be damned.